Hello and welcome to my new video, which is basically the same video I always do, just with new things, I suppose. So what have we got? Well, what are we going to do? We've got this thing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut up some breaks and then use arpeggiators to trigger them, which is going to be fun. This isn't actually a particularly new or groundbreaking thing. I was actually going to do a video about it a while ago, but it never really sort of worked as well as I'd intended because you had to be sort of tempo dependent, whereas we have a new version of Live now. We have Live 9. And they've introduced some new things with the you can do with the push, and I don't know what any of them are. I think I can press Shift and press that, and then I can choose what color I want, which is kind of nice. Yeah, but what they've done is they've put into simpler. What do I want to do? Convert to simpler. There we go. So what they've done is they've put in slice to regions or beats, I think, slicing. So we go to slice and then we go to slice by beat, region, manual. So I'm going to go for beat and I want the beats to be, I can't see because I'm too far away from the screen. 1 bar. I want them to be in eighths. There we go. Cool. So that is a 2-bar loop. So that'll go nicely into 16 steps. Cool. So let's just do a couple of things without push because I'm not totally okay with doing everything on push just yet. Need the mouse sometimes. So right, I'm going to bring in an arpeggiator now. And because, yeah, so basically before, you've been able to do this for a while. Like ever since they introduced slicing, it's been completely possible to slice in beats rather than transients. So this is, you can do this in an old version of Live. The only difference is that the audio is warped. We've got a lovely warped audio, which means that we can kind of do this at any tempo we want. I'm just going to do a couple of things. I'm just going to quickly set the arpeggiator to be the same rate as the slicing, so it's 1/8, and I'm going to put the steps up to 2 with a distance of 1. So that basically means when I press this, you can see that it's going up the first 3 steps. Let's go a little bit faster, shall we? Let's go into the jungle. So that's cool. We can hold lots of keys. And get different variations. Because the playback is set to mono, we can do this kind of cool sort of legato springback thing, portamento sort of. If I hold that one, go there, and then go back. I can kind of move back, I can kind of move around. So this is kind of cool. You know, we've got this warped audio now, so it doesn't really matter what tempo we're at. It'll still play in time. Whereas in the old one, you kind of had to do 16ths or something to get it to sort of stay in time or whatever. This is much better. Why are we at 165.69? All right, I can go down in increments of 0.1, but not 0.01. So I can go to 165.09. Well, why can't I go to 165.00? That's just silly. Do people actually write tempos at 0.01? The answer is no. Right, so, okay, so what we can do now, I'm going to group. What am I going to do? I'm going to group these into a thing like that. And I'm going to explore some of the sort of, you know, you can get just very interesting like variations and come up with like new patterns. If you want to do breakcore and slicing like this, you can use the Arpeggiator and this slicing method to come up with cool patterns and riffs and stuff. So, you know, we can kind of do it if we're kind of talking in the aim and break vernacular. We can use the Arpeggiator here, which I'm doing. So whenever I press a button, it'll go up 2 steps at intervals of 1 semitone. You can see if you watch this here, you can see it's going up. So if I go to the snare. So that's cool. That is live. That is Ableton Live. So what else was I going to do? Oh yeah. So yeah, like what we can do is we can let's map the hold to macro 1 on our push. So when I just turn that on now, I don't have to hold it. I can just press them once. That's cool. We can. What else could we do? We could map the style of the Arpeggiator to the push as well, so that when we turn it on, we can kind of explore different combinations in which it plays back the slices. So I'll just I'll use these 2. Ah, there we go. Next. And it's fun to watch as well. I wonder if we can see it on here as well. It's kind of fun, isn't it? The transport isn't running. We just turn it on, turn the hold on, and we're good to go. So what else could we do? We could try mapping the steps, so that we could experiment with different steps. Let's turn a hold on. Try lots of them. So we're just making up jungle patterns. It's cool. Turn it to random. It'll just randomize around. Yeah. You can go up to more steps. So if we go up to like 4. Oh, maybe not 4. Let's go 3. So there we've kind of got like a little groove. Let's go up to 7. Yeah, so now we've got like 1 bar's worth. Try different combinations. Wicked. Isn't it just fun? Isn't Ableton Live fun? Whoa, let's drink. To that guy, I can't remember his name, who tells me to drink Westerns. I went to the shop, they didn't have any. But I will. I promise. I'm not an alcoholic, by the way, it's fine. So, okay, so the other thing I was going to do was I'm going to group some more of these. I'm going to group inside the group. And now I'm going to create multiple instances of this same slice setup and then give them different playbacks and put some effects on them, and then we'll use all right, let's just do it. I'll explain it as I go, shall I? Let's duplicate that, let's solo it, and let's just let's turn we need to go back here. Okay, so I'll just turn that on. Okay, all right, so let's just reverse this one. Let's reverse it. Okay, that's cool. Let's go back to this one. Let's duplicate that. Whoa, that's cool. You know what I forgot to do? Put a limiter on my master track. Sorry, internet. Okay. Alright, so we've got this one now. What can we do with this one? We could change the... whoops. The other cool thing is that now that this is sliced, we can have it like warped if we want, which means that we'll retain the timing of it, but we can also turn it off and it still gives us all these different slice points, which means we can sort of do fun pitching stuff. Like this. Oh, wait a minute, I've done it the wrong one. Ah, I hate that. I do that all the time. Okay. There we go. So why don't we put like a wacky LFO on that? That's cool, alright. Let's duplicate another one. And for this one, we can also, excuse me, even though this is all being triggered, just turn that down a little bit, even though these are all being triggered by an arpeggiator at the start of the chain, we can put another arpeggiator in after it to kind of re-trigger it. Which is kind of amusing. We get sort of granular type stuff, and then if we put like, actually let's keep that one. Let's keep that one. I won't go too deep because I want to keep this video under 3 hours long. Let's duplicate that, and then we'll put a wibbly wobbly. Turn the warp off. Just put a wibbly wobbly pitch on. And why not a wibbly wobbly filter as well? Actually, no, I've changed my mind. Don't like the filter. Changed my mind. Why don't we put a wibbly wobbly filter on the other one instead? Wibbly wobbly filter. Whoa! Okay, so whoops. Sorry about that little bump there. Let's drink more beer. So what now? Okay, so actually no, I'm going to keep going because I want to put some effects on some of these as well. We could let's duplicate this one. Let's put a so let's consider some of the other possibilities that are available here. We are slicing, which means that when we're in slice, we don't get a hell of a lot of control over the envelope, which is a bit of a shame. At least not that I'm immediately aware of. We get like let's turn warp off. Yeah, we don't really get any kind of amplitude envelope or anything, which is okay. We get this fade in, fade out thing, which is all right. I would like a little bit more chop than that, but that's okay. We can use the let's use the gate. The gate in this is really cool. It can show us what's going on. That's all right. And now let's put a massive, massive fuck off reverb on that. While we're at it, let's just put a generic one knob comp setting on here. I like to... My favourite glue compressor setting is to match the E's up in threshold with the E in makeup. Or sometimes the T and the P, but I'm going to go E and E. That's because I know how to use compressors. I don't. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm, whoops. And I'm just going to do one that doesn't have a reverb on and instead has a sort of a, I'm going to do a little bit of delay here. But first I'm just going to sort of do a little bit of sort of makeshift spring reverb design, which I like to do using the gives it a space echo kind of sound. We can actually do some really, I don't know, did I do a video on this? I can't remember. You can make some really cool kind of lo-fi reverbs by sort of stacking up. Let's group this. If you stack up a load of delays in like parallel and give them different times, slightly different times, you can get this really cool sort of kind of reverb. That's not quite how I meant for it to sound, but it's kind of fun anyway. Okay, that'll do for now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our velocity zone here. We're going to select all of them and we're going to go distribute. Oh, hang on, I need to check that one of them is normal. Let's just name that one Norman. Okay, and now we're just going to distribute them, and then I'm going to use the velocity plugin. I'm going to use maybe two of them later, but I'm just going to use one for now. By default, this goes to random for me. I don't want that. I want to choose. I'm going to map that to macro 4. Just going to quickly go in here and where are we? Output high. There we go. Just set that to 1, and I'll just call that effects or something. So now I'm on the push. Where am I on the push? I've got my effects knob. You probably can't see that on the screen, but it's there. So I'm going to turn my effects knob and get different playbacks. Cool, right? And we can play with different combinations of the break using the Arpeggiator. Change the... I don't want that many steps though. I'm going to go back to 2 steps. Well, it's actually 3 steps, but it says 2 because it's not including the note that you actually press. Yeah, it's all happening. Another thing that we can do, of course, is we can turn the let's macro the random knob, and we don't have to do any tweaking. If you're lazy, a bit like me, you can just turn the random up. Those reverb ones, I've changed my mind about those reverb ones. I'm going to take that gate off. Where is it? Where are you, gatey reverbs? It's that one, isn't it? There it is. I'm going to turn that off. Where's the one with the echo on as well? Oh, where is it? Where are you? There we go. I've changed my mind about the gate. Goodbye, Bill Gates. Okay. Oh, that went a little bit... What happened there? It went... Let's not forget, of course, that we don't have to use 8th note arpeggio. We can go for like crazy 16 if we want to get like really mental. But I think that's a little bit stupid, and as much as I like stupid dance music, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Takes a little while to learn where the snares are, but I know this break inside out, so I know that they're kind of going to get, I know where they're going to be because I'm sad. Yeah, you can find some very weird grooves, patterns. And if you do some in certain combinations of like 2 or 4, you'll get ones that should theoretically repeat over a measure of like a bar or 2 bars, which can be cool. This is for like if you want to do this at a gig or something, you know, if you want to, you know, fuck around. Cool. Well, my iPhone camera just died, so I guess we'll call it a day there. I'm going to go and zip this file up and put it on Patreon for all my Patreon people. And yeah, cool. See you next time.